Today the learning goal is to write the equation in standard form. The work will be in IXL, grade 10, L14. What we know already is the equation that is in slope-intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. All we're going to do today is to learn how to rearrange the equation from y equals mx plus b to ax plus by equals c. And when the equation's in that form, ax plus by equals c, that's called standard form. Well, why would we want to do that? What that does, it allows us to find the x and y intercept of a line. The next lesson, we're going to learn to find the x and y intercept. This lesson, we just learned how to rearrange the equation from slope-intercept form to standard form. Here's a couple of rules that we're going to have to look at. First of all, if there's any fractions in our equation, we want to get rid of them by multiplying the denominator. Okay, so in this particular example, in order to get rid of the 3, we'd have to multiply everything by 3. So 3 times 7 equals 3 times 1/3 x plus 3 times 4, and that would become 21 equals 1x plus 12. So the first rule is to get rid of any fractions. The second rule is to make the number with the x here positive. So you see how this is negative? That won't work. We have to turn it positive. And the way we do that is we multiply every term by -1. So we would have -1 times -2x plus -1 times 3y equals -1 times 4. So that becomes 2x minus 3y equals -4. So the very first term, the x term, has to be positive. Okay, let's try some examples. We have to rewrite this equation in standard form. So we have y, make my pen a little smaller here so it's easier to look at. Y equals -10x plus 6. So what we have to do is get the x and the y both on the left side and leave the number on the right side. So the way we do that is we're going to add 10x to both sides. So that gives us 10x plus y equals 6. Okay, so our first term is the x term, the second term is the y term, and the third term is just the number, and it's on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Here we have y equals -8x plus 5. So we have to get the x on the other side. The way we're going to do that is add 8x to both sides. So that gives us 8x plus y equals 5. Okay, a couple more examples. This example has a fraction in it, so we can experiment with getting rid of fractions. So we have y equals 10x plus 2/5. So the way we get rid of the denominator, that's a 5, is to multiply everything by 5. So it gives us 5 times y equals 5 times 10x plus, I'm going to run out of room, sorry. I'll move everything to the left here. We'll start again. Y equals 10x plus 2 fifths, or 2 over 5. And so the way we get rid of the 5 is to multiply everything by 5. So we have 5 times y equals 5 times 10x plus 5 times 2 divided by 5. Alright, so 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 10x is 50x. And 5 times 2 fifths is 2. Now we have to get to the x to the other side of the equation. So we're going to subtract 50x from both sides. So that gives us negative 50x plus 5y equals 2. And then we can't have a negative sign here, so we're going to have to multiply everything by negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 50x plus negative 1 times 5y equals negative 1 times 2. So that gives us 50x minus 5y equals negative